Thank you. Down in the Deanley Beach area, we have a sub area called Forest Glen, and there's a Forest Glen Road and there's a Prince Albert Parkway. This year, we put tar and gravel down there as a rebuild of the paving on their roads. Now, we need to remember that when the developer put in that subdivision full of houses, he put down tar or asphalt, and it looked great and it maintained for a number of years. But when the township comes back to repave that road, they use, I think, and Tim can correct me if this isn't 100% accurate, he looks at the traffic pattern on the road, not traffic pattern, but the traffic use on the road, and he says this is a subdivision, and he puts down the appropriate surface to replace the paving. Now, we need to remember that this is a beach community, and it started with pavement, and albeit the developer put it in, this whole group of homes uses the road often barefoot or pushing a baby buggy or riding a bicycle. And this community is very unhappy with the surface that's there right now because it's very loose, and you definitely couldn't walk on it with your bare feet. So I think we need to do something about it for them because it's been a fairly dramatic switch. Can we take a heavy duty vibratory roller and beat the gravel down and turn it back into a smooth surface that they once had? It's difficult, and the people that are missing their pavement are unhappy. So I just put that up for discussion.
Thank you, Councillor Wishart. Maybe we get some initial comments from Director Leach.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Wilma. First of all, it was originally tar and chip. It was not asphalt. That was a tar and chip road from day one, and we verified that. So basically, we have resurfaced what was there previously. Through traffic volumes and all those types of things, this is where we do look at the alternate types of treatment that we put on top of the roads, whether it be asphalt or tar and chip, or whether we just improve the current gravel road situation that they have. I've heard from the people in the area. We have responded accordingly. I wouldn't recommend anybody walking on our roads or our ditches or our shoulders in bare feet. I would always, once I leave my own property, I would always recommend that people wear shoes. I think that's just from a safety standpoint. So we did replace what they had, and we did all the streets down in that area. It does take a little time for tar and chip. It's out in front of my house, for example, and it took a couple of years to flatten out, but now it's a good surface. The other thing is what we're looking at from where we're at from a budget standpoint on doing these roads, on what we actually budgeted for to get done and what our actual performance is. And we're just getting our final numbers in now. And we are looking at an additional, it's like a slurry seal almost that you put over top of the road after a year, but we're making sure that it makes sense financially for us to do it, that there is room in the budget left over, and we feel there might be. So we're in the process right now of taking a look at a way to use tar and chip roads and provide a little bit more of surface smoothness. However, it's not going to be where you're going to be able to walk down there in bare feet without hurting the bottom of your feet. Roads are not, that's not the way they're built. They're built to handle our vehicular traffic. So we are looking at an alternate surface to put on top of tar and chip. but we're just going through our final numbers and the feasibility and seeing if that's something. You may see that in the capital budget as a carryover because you have to wait a year to put this type of treatment over top. So we're just finalizing our numbers and seeing how quick it'll be. Will it actually do any improvements? Will it do any worse? So I just wanted, because I have heard that before, that we took out pavement and put down tar and chip, and that is not the case. It was tar and chip before, and we replaced it with tar and chip. So we are looking at, like I said, some additional things that we put on top of the surface to help that situation out, and we should be able to, through our capital process, we'll be able to determine if that's going to be feasible for 2021 or not. I'm optimistic it is, but I just want to see the final numbers before I approach council on any type of that, any type of a carryover of capital monies from 2020 into 2021.
Looks like we're frozen, are we, Deputy Mayor Walma? On behalf of Deputy Mayor Walma, Councillor Minton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to say that I do recall receiving the communication from the unhappy resident of that area some time ago, in which she had implied that it was asphalt paving initially, and what steps Public Works had taken represented a decrease in the level of service, essentially. I also saw Mr. Leach's response to that resident, wherein he provided the correction or the clarification that, in fact, we returned to them what they had before. So, and I haven't heard anything back from the residents. So I think that Public Works' approach in this situation is sound. And I think that we struggle to maintain what we have. And I think that, as I've said before, if residents want to have upgrades to the roads to improve the quality of the road beyond what they had previously or when they bought their properties, then I think we should be looking at local area improvement issues whereby there's maybe some cost sharing involved between the municipality and the property owners in that area to facilitate that upgrade and improvement. Thank you.
Welcome back, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. I didn't hear any of that, Councillor Mintoff, but sure it was great. Councillor Hastings.
Thank you. I just wanted to say, so I met with the residents down in that area, and I reiterated everything that Public Works had said. So that it had been tar and chip to begin with. It is rough right now, but Public Works did a great job. So when it finally smooths out, it will be a lovely surface. But I had given them all that information, so I guess they weren't happy with my response. I also shared with them what Tim was looking at as far as maybe trying to smooth it out a little bit quicker than the normal process. So I'm not sure if you were speaking to the same residents, but the group that I talked to were well aware of what Public Works were doing.
Okay. Councillor Wishart, are you satisfied with the comments today?
I brought the issue to council and to staff, and they have responded, and thank you.
Okay. We have no other items under new business. We do have one confidential item remaining, but could I suggest that we take a, sorry, which one did I not read? Oh, sorry. Moved by Councillor Hastings, seconded by Councillor Wishart. Whereas Committee of the Whole discussed the matter of a built peninsula to an island off Concession 13, Lackey Road,